Trojan family, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. It's the top of the morning. Listen, I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got a few things to talk about today, and one is the number one offensive lineman in the 2026 class, massive size guy. You can't find or you can't teach this type of size anywhere, man. I mean, this is incredible. 6'7", 340 pounds. His name is Immanuel Iheanacho. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, but I want to take a look at his information real quick and show you guys exactly who he is. As I stated, massive. In the 2021 class, you see his size right here. You guys will get ready to see he's moving and grooving, but he says that USC is his dream school. I briefly saw this article, and let me say this before I mention this article because it's coming from 24/7 Sports. But shout out to my man USC Priority. You can find him on Instagram. He sent me this guy's information 2 times last week, and I didn't get to it. But he was talking about. I guess he read somewhere where the same thing I read in this article here. And shout out to Chris Trevino as well. He wrote about it at 24/7 Sports. That USC is his dream school, man. And we're talking about a kid. Look at this, man. We're talking about a kid that has a massive sized body. You see what he's able to do here. He's part of the 2026 class. And as I stated, number one offensive lineman in 2026 class. And you see what he's able to do here, man. He's not most offensive linemen. They kind of, some of them have a little bit of, built a little different as far as like, I'm not gonna say flab, but this dude he almost looks like a defensive tackle, but he's just a man amongst boys. And I think USC, the fact that he's in his dream school, USC is his dream school, is saying a whole lot, man. So you guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you guys think. And I want to show you guys, these are all of his, coincidentally, I did reach out to him, and I will be interviewing him if nothing changes, hopefully tomorrow, which is Saturday at 4:00 p.m. West Coast time, 7:00 East Coast time. I want to talk to him about USC being his dream school. I think the fact that this is his dream school. You guys will see here, these are all the offers right now that is all the way on the table for him. Florida State, South Carolina, Michigan, Ohio State. You guys see it here. This is directly from his Instagram page. I mean, the kid he has all the offers from the big boys, Oklahoma, Alabama, Auburn, and guess what? USC has not yet offered him. So we're going to talk about that. And but listen, I think the offer will be coming. I think the offer is right on the way. And I think that you see Tennessee there, Texas, all those schools, man, Penn State. And so more than over a dozen offers, Florida. I think USC will offer him. And so we're going to talk to him, a massive size guy. And when you look at the 2026 prospects, you see this right here. You see number one, of course, is Jakeem Stewart. Now, how crazy would that be? How crazy would it be if USC were to get Jakeem Stewart, which is not out of the question, but he may be reclassified, so we're not sure on that yet. But I'm just saying, if you look at this new list that just came out, this is per On3, and you see the number one player is Jakeem Stewart. The number two player, who happens to be at modern day, is Chris Henry Jr. And, we talked about that as well. Depending on how things go this year with USC and with Ohio State, who knows what can happen with that. And I'm just one of those that believe that a guy like Julian Lewis, we keep him. A guy like Chris Henry Jr., absolutely USC can persuade him. But then you see there at number 3. I just want you guys to really think. I'm setting this up so you guys can really understand what could possibly take place. And then you see him there, offensive tackle, the number 3 player overall, Immanuel Iheanacho. So that is that's saying a whole lot. And I think USC is in prime position to not only get Jakeem Stewart, but to possibly get, and I'm not saying Chris Henry Jr. There's been no talks that he's leaning toward USC, but just the fact that he's at modern day, if USC has a successful year and really comes out and plays better than what a lot of people expect, and you right there in the backyard of USC, I don't see why USC doesn't have an opportunity to go get him, because you guys know that Lincoln Riley, one thing he is going to have is a good offense. And then you couple that with a guy like Immanuel Iheanacho, number 3 ranking, man. So possibly the top 3 players in 2026. Are you kidding me? USC has a real opportunity, and I'm not even dismissing that, by no means necessary, man. So you guys can drop those comments. You guys can tell me what you think. USC possibly in a great position to possibly get a guy like Immanuel Iheanacho. So with that being said, I want to transition over, man. I briefly brought up something yesterday, and it was talking about the NCAA going officially to pretty much revenue sharing, and this is a groundbreaking situation. Now they're going to pay back pay. It's going to be some back pay, and I want to talk about some of this real quick with this article, because yesterday when I brought the article up to you guys, it was only they were waiting on the Pac-12 and I think maybe a Big 12 school. I couldn't remember, but now all 5 Power 5 schools are on board, and this is a groundbreaking situation. So here it is right here. This is from the Athletic, and the article is here. It says the NCAA and the nation's 5 biggest conferences announced Thursday night that they have agreed. When I brought it to you guys yesterday, it wasn't official. I don't think they had agreed, and they were waiting on those 2 schools, but they have agreed to pay nearly $2.8 billion to settle a host of antitrust claims, a monumental decision that sets the stage for groundbreaking revenue sharing model that could start steering millions of dollars directly to athletes as soon as 2025 fall semester. The NCAA president, Charlie Baker, along with the commissioner of the Athletic Coast Conference, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, and SEC Conference, released a joint statement saying they have agreed to settle the terms. They call the move an important step in the continue to reform college football. Listen, it seems like every time they make a step towards reforming college football and try to put things in the proper perspective, it just seems like it goes in another direction, man. I mean, you guys would drop those comments. I think as much as the NCAA makes money, the money that they do, I think that it should be some type of revenue sharing. These guys put the money in the seats. Now, here's the crazy thing. You guys know that the USC just entered the Big 10 Conference, and we'll talk about some of these figures here because they're throwing out some figures. The Big 10 Conference, we just signed what was it, $100 million or $70 million dollars worth of new TV rights deals at USC. This is one of the reasons why USC and UCLA initially, went ahead because of their LA market and went ahead and pursued this. Now, Oregon and Washington, they're not getting the same cut as USC and UCLA. So with that being said, when you talk about the revenue sharing, we will probably come out a little better as far as that is concerned. However, UCLA does have to pay Cal back. What is it? I can't remember the figure. I don't want to give a wrong figure, but just with the fact that they're being a state school, they have to play Cal back, and as a result, they're not going to come. So USC is really going to come out in the clear on this and really be able to move and groove as it relates to some of this revenue sharing and still be good. So just for example, if we have $100 million contract and, with the revenue sharing, it requires us to get what, $20 million? I'm just throwing numbers. This is just kind of just to explain how it'll work. They'll still have $80 million, right? $80 million to still have to put in their pockets and still be able to, because if you guys remember the initial contract with the Pac-12, I believe it was like 30 million, maybe something like that, which was nowhere near. So USC is still going to be, even if they participate in the revenue sharing, which is part of pretty much law now, according to this article, they will still be okay as it relates to that aspect of it. And so this article says it says terms were not disclosed. That's why I didn't want to give you guys no figure. Though some details have emerged in the past few weeks, they signal the end of the NCAA bedrock amateurism model that dates to its founding in 1906. Listen, we haven't seen anything like this. So listen, college football as we know it, the landscape of college football as we know it is officially over. It's gone. It's no more. It started with the transfer portal, right? It started with the NIL. All of this stuff goes hand in hand. And I think that, hey, whatever happens, if you want to open, I guess, Pandora box, if you will, hey, so be it. I think that it is a way that it could be done, but is it being done the right way? We'll see. We'll see what happens. You guys know I am an advocate of athletes getting paid. I believe that if it wasn't for those athletes putting their, if it wasn't for the guys on the field putting their blood, sweat, and tears in it, you wouldn't have nobody in the stands. The fans come and see the athletes. Yes, the environment is there, but the fans come see them, and the product has to be good in order for money to be generated. And so now, we'll see what happens with this. But I think this is going to be a separate way. The NIL is going to still exist, but you're going to couple that with the NIL. Name, image, and likeness is all about one individual's name. But now with this, athletes all across the board, your name might not be as great as a Caleb Williams, but you have a good enough name to where you're on the college football team and you can have the ability to now earn money based upon the fact that you are part of that team and the university has to distribute those funds among the athletes. Now, how far will it go back as far as the back pay? They said athletes from 2016 will have the ability to get some of that money. So 2016 and up. So all those guys back in the day, 2015, 14, 13, even my man Jaywalk, I don't think they will get any of those back pay opportunities. So look, man, I'm out of here. You guys already know where you can find me. It's going to be USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. Listen, don't forget this guy. Let me pull him up one more time. This big boy right here, Immanuel Iheanacho, he has agreed to come on tomorrow at 4 p.m., 7 p.m. West Coast time. So look, man, if anything changes with that, I'll put it up on my Twitter, Instagram, and post it on YouTube. But as of now, I did talk with him, and so we will be trying to bring him on tomorrow, man. So look, man, I'm out of here. Until later on, everybody stay blessed. Don't forget, make sure you get up, get out, and make some things happen. Until later on, fight on, fight on, fight on.